Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come and talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Now, listen, I didn't review last week's episode. I'm not going to review it. I watched the episode, I just didn't review it. But there are just a couple of things that I wanted to mention that I remembered before, that I remembered while I was taking notes on this week's episode. The first thing I want to say is this: Bill. See this. I feel like Bill might be on some. What is it? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Remember? I feel like he's on some. I feel like Bill might be a different person when he's at home and the cameras are down. Um, I just, and that's why I don't understand why Jennifer, one of her go-tos is to throw Bill and, her family into someone's face, I guess Marge's face, because it's like, girl, in real life, you don't even want to be. A part of me feels like Jennifer can't leave Bill because Jennifer knows that if she left Bill, she would not be able to maintain that same lifestyle. Like, even if Jennifer got the house in the divorce, like, she probably won't be able to stay at that house for too long. I don't know. I mean, Bill will pay his child support, but I just think that that's part of the reason why Jennifer has not, because she already let us know when she found out that Bill was cheating, she really couldn't go nowhere because she didn't really have nothing. So that's part of the reason why she stayed. I just think that Jennifer is gonna have to get away from the somebody's jealous of her, somebody's jealous that she has a family. Jennifer, girl, nobody's jealous of what you and Bill have going on. It sounds like you are literally a mattress and a mule and a maid. A maid, a mattress, and a mule. That's what it sounds like you are over there. Girl, the simple fact that this man gets off of work and then goes into the pool house, doesn't want to have dinner with y'all, doesn't even come in and speak and eat dinner with the family, and then say, hey, I'm going to go to the pool house for an hour or two just to relax. I had a stressful day. Something. He comes home, gets out of his car, and goes straight to the pool house. And you think somebody's jealous of that. Jennifer, girl, I'm going to need you to snap out of it. Either Bill already got one foot out the door, or either Jennifer already got one foot out the door. Quiet as it's kept, I think both of them got one foot out the door. And the other one's still inside because, for the kids. And Jennifer for the lifestyle. Gia. One thing I remember Gia said last week was she feels as though her aunt and uncle, something about them driving a wedge between, I guess, the cousins. Like, I can't remember exactly what she said. She said it in a confessional. Something about Joe and Melissa, I guess, kind of like driving a wedge between the cousins, not really, I guess, getting to hang out. Listen, Gia is grown. Gia is a young woman. She's a young adult. Nonetheless, she's still grown. 21, I believe, right? Is she 21? I think I saw Gia drinking at Louie and Teresa's housewarming party. I felt like that was a cocktail in her hand. At this point, at some point, Jill, you can't. Even though you're only 21, you can't just be blaming Auntie Melissa and Uncle Joe. If you wanted to go hang out with Antonia and your nephews, you could. I love the fact that Jennifer Fessler, she basically she told Marge that she thought she was basically wrong, and girl, you looked crazy. Remember when Marge and Jennifer got into it at her house? Y'all know who actually is very, very pretty? I want y'all to look at her face. I know some of y'all might not think it. Jennifer Fessler. Look at Jennifer's face. Jennifer is a very, very pretty woman. Like she really, really is. Um. Anyways, Danielle and Rachel. Let's just talk about this week's episode. Danielle and Rachel, they go out shopping. They're getting ready to go to the shore. Danielle says she pretty much tries to stay away from the shore as much as she can. I think she said she hasn't been back to the shore since she was 25 years old. She also lets Rachel know that her and Joe had a conversation. Because Joe is having issues with his relationship with his sister Teresa. Danielle is having issues with her brother. And so they were just talking about, I guess, trying to get it together. But let's just talk, girl. Because, let's just talk. Who we going to talk about first? Teresa. Let's get Teresa out the way. No, let's get Marge out of the way. Marge doesn't like that the people are going around saying that she has an arsenal of, I guess, information that against the group that she could use at any time. I guess it's one of the reasons why people say that you don't want to be on her bad side. I was thinking about this when I was watching the episode. As much as she wants to be upset at, who is it? Jennifer and Teresa. And y'all know Jackie is my girl. But I swear I remember Jackie saying last year or either the year before that you don't want to be on Marge's bad side, or like Marge knows information about everybody. It was something along those lines. I can't remember Jackie's exact words, but girl, Jennifer and Teresa ain't the only ones who think that Marge, girl. And y'all know Marge is my favorite one on the show. But girl, we're gonna have to just call a thing a thing. You know what I'm saying? While yes, I understand what Marge is saying, that girl, if we're supposed to be moving on and trying to rebuild a friendship or work on our relationship or whatever, you can't really say that and then all of a sudden, Jennifer feels the need to, fill everybody in on how Marge really is. Because how are we going to move on when I hear that you're basically kind of bad-mouthing me to other people in the circle? It's just this just don't make no sense. Now, if y'all keep saying that Marge got all this stuff in her arsenal, girl, Jennifer, I'm just saying, girl, Miss Thing has you almost jumping off a cliff last year. So I think that you might want to leave Marge alone. Because you know what I thought about too? I don't know what Jennifer is doing over there. Jennifer says she only smokes a little weed, a little marijuana, okay? I said, girl, I was thinking about this. Marge probably heard something else. Not to say that it's true. I'm saying Marge probably heard something else. Jennifer is telling us that it's weed. Marge probably didn't hear that Jennifer over there probably popping pills and drinking wine. You see what I'm saying? So you remember when Marge said you're basically a drug addict? And I was like, girl. And Jennifer said all she do is really just smoke weed, but she's smoking when her kids go to sleep. But I was like, for Marge to say something like that, who really? I know some people do. But for the most part, I really don't know anybody who considers someone who does weed a drug addict. Quiet as this because the people don't even really consider that no drug. And we're going to be honest about it, girl. But I was just like, Jennifer, you really need to watch out because you're going to be the main one. You're going to be the main one. If Marge really start releasing, girl, the information, girl, you really, girl, going to be running into the ocean, okay? Teresa, I understand. I understand Marge saying that if we're trying to move on, then, girl, why are y'all saying these things? But it still doesn't take away from the fact that, girl, they are not the only ones who have said this, Marge. You know what I'm saying? Teresa, girl, in one breath you're saying that you felt as though, I think she felt as though Joe and Melissa should have invited her and Louie to stay at their townhouse. I mean, stay at their beach house. The beach house. Girl, when I tell y'all, I think I said this before. When I tell you Joe and Melissa got a nice shore home, when I tell y'all, girl, that it's the view, it's the backyard, it's the view for me. It's just a nice getaway home. It really, really is. I was like, oh, girl, that is nice. Girl, oh, they got a nice home. But anyways, Teresa says that she felt as though they should have invited her to stay at her home. But then in another episode, when she arrived at Jennifer's home, Teresa says, I only want to be around people that love us. You guys love us. Girl, you just were talking to Jennifer the other day, talking about, girl, you felt some type of way about them not inviting you and Louie to stay at their home. But then, girl, you do a 180 and then say, girl, I want to be around people who love me. Girl, this is the thing about Joe and Teresa. Like, I get that for some of y'all, family is first, and family is everything. Girl, either y'all gonna have to, like that therapist told her, either you're gonna have to either just cut the cord or like the back and forth. And quiet as it's kept, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Melissa and Joe do talk about the Teresa stuff a lot. But girl, Teresa ain't too far behind. It ain't too many scenes that I can count or remember where, girl, Teresa ain't talking. It's not like, what I'm trying to say is, it's not like every time they show a scene with Teresa, she's talking about something outside of the whole Joe, Melissa, inviting Melissa's parents to the wedding. Girl, she talked just as much as, not just as much, but she's in second place. That's what I'm trying to say, yes. She's in second place when it comes to like me watching scenes, and it always either, is most of the time it revolves around her and Joey. They both talk about each other, quiet as it's kept. I'm not gonna lie, Teresa, I feel like Teresa low-key had a point. She don't want to invite basically Melissa's family to the wedding because girl, the word she didn't want to use, I'ma just use them because she didn't want to use them. She don't fuck with them bitches like that. Okay? I guess 10 years ago, 11 years ago, some mess happened and they got online talking mess about Teresa, and Teresa ain't never really she said she forgave, but she ain't forget. I don't know if Teresa and Melissa, her family, talked about it. And now I will say this much. If the only way I would look at Teresa sideways is if she had a conversation with them and they decided to put everything behind them, then I would say, well, girl, Teresa, that's why you should not accept apologies. I'm not saying this happened. I'm just saying if it happened. That's why you should not accept apologies if you are not really and truly over something. Because if they did have a conversation and if Teresa said, oh, girl, I forgive you, but then girl, 10 years later, girl, you like, girl, I really don't fool with you like that. But we don't know if that conversation happened or not, so we just gonna stick to what we saw on the TV. I can understand why Teresa don't fool with them. Girl, you was online talking mess. So no, you're not coming to my wedding. Girl, I ain't never really fooled with you like that since then. The only reason I probably was speaking to you or halfway being decent to you is because you was coming around when my daddy was here. Other than that, I don't fool with you heifers. That's what Teresa really on. I can get it. Dolores is not staying at Frank's house. I'm not mad at Dolores. Is it sad? I'm not gonna lie. Do I have a little soft spot? I like the men on Real Housewives of New Jersey. I think they all have a good time. I just like the fact that they have a good time and they can let their hair down. Like, girl, you never really get that with the other men on the other shows. PK and Mauricio, I feel like they could probably have a good time too. Mauricio is something. Ooh, hey Mauricio. Anyways, I still ain't forgot how you sat around and laughed at Garcelle's son, but girl, she over it, I'm over it too. Hey Mauricio. Let me stop lusting over people's husbands. All right. Oh, Dolores. Dolores is pretty much putting her foot down. Like she is, setting boundaries. We've already talked about it. Frank gonna have to just get used to it. And just like she said, you got your young 33-year-old blonde girlfriend. You'll be all right. And even if you're not, you ain't gonna have no choice but to be all right. I mean, I put that Bill talks to Jen like a patient. I think that's what it is too. Do I believe that Dr. Aiden should be in the mess like Jennifer wants him to? No, I don't. Yes, I understand Joe is, halfway in the opening credits. Yes, I understand that, some of the men, they gas their wives up and they are into the mess. But girl, that's just not your husband. So I don't know why she wants him to be some messy queen on TV when that's really that's not him. You know what I'm saying? Now I do also believe that like when they were in the room packing for this trip, this episode, I was like, girl, he talked to her like she's a patient. Like, does that make sense? Like, he doesn't really, he almost talks to her like she's, I hate to say it. He almost talks to her like she's dumb in a way and like she's a patient. Anyways, I guess she would, did he do something? Oh, girl, I thought someone was crawling on my leg, girl. I was about to have a fit. Girl, that was the, what is it called? What is this called? The cord. Anyways, girl, Teresa says that Gia asked to stay at Melissa and Joe's house one time, and they said no. I'm not saying it's a lie because I don't know. But even if they did say no, was it a reason to them saying no? Like, did they already have a full house and it wasn't nowhere for Gia to sleep? Like, were they over there fussing and fighting and arguing and they didn't want Gia in the middle? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, was there a reason? Because it's okay to tell people no, even your nieces and nephews. It's one thing if they were just being mean, right? Now, if it was because they were arguing with Teresa and then Jill was like, hey, Auntie Joe and Melissa, can I come over? And they said no, then I would kind of say that's messed up because if y'all say y'all keeping the kids out of the mess and keep the kids out of the mess. You see what I'm saying? But if it was something outside of their drama and it was a real reason to them saying no, then I don't see what the big deal is. But I would want to know the reason. Why did y'all say no? I mean, Teresa already brought it up, so I would want to ask Melissa, when Jill asked y'all to spend the night, why did y'all tell her no? Was it because it was too late? Did you tell her tonight's not a good night and you can come over, tomorrow or next weekend? You know what I'm saying? Danielle, the group is talking about Danielle not telling the full story. She not. Girl, I've literally been saying this since Danielle first started telling this story. It don't make sense. Like, I don't give a damn what none of y'all say about no Italians being hard-headed. Ain't nobody just cutting off their brothers and sisters because, you was making fun of me on TikTok or Instagram. Girl, down to the iPad. Girl, shout out to Nene Leaks. iPod. That's what she said. I listen down to the iPod. Girl, shout out to Nene Leaks, but nobody's believing the story. I don't know if Danielle did something, but Danielle is not telling the full story. I don't care what she says. I'm with the group. Girl, it don't make sense. Jackie, some people think that Jackie has a hard on for Danielle. I can see why people think that. You know what I really think? I really think that Jackie knew that one of these girls was going to take her spot. And as much as Jackie said that it was a decision between both of them, I guess, Bravo and Jackie to say, okay, we'll just keep you as a friend so you can get your, Jackie was going through her stuff. Right? So you can, be a friend. You ain't really got to, you can get your stuff together. But I also think in the back of Jackie's head, like she still wanted her spot, and I think she knew Danielle was coming for her spot. Okay, and I think that's the real. I think that's the real reason why Jackie ain't really seen it for Miss Danielle, because quiet as except Danielle ain't did nothing to Jackie, and the stuff that Danielle said was actually true. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning of the season, so it's like Jackie, you really ain't got no real reason, not from what I can remember, to have any type of beef with Jackie. I mean, with Danielle. Um, but yeah, Danielle is not telling the full story. Danielle is not telling the full story. Towards the end of the episode, she heard them talking about her, but she didn't walk over and confront them. So she took her husband and was basically, just, complaining to her husband, for lack of a better word. And Melissa came over to check on her. I thought it was hilarious when when they were driving home. Danielle was going off, and Bill was in the back seat. Girl knocked past. When I tell you, Jennifer and Bill were up at. They have a good time. Like, girl, they be drinking their asses off. Girl, they had 2 bottles of Casamigos, I think. Girl, going down people's throats. I think Bill was drinking. What's it called? Double fist? Is that what it's called? Bill was drinking. Frank was drinking. Girl, at one point, Melissa had to run over and say, "Stop, spit it out, spit it out." Girl, you saw Bill crawling on the ground. Girl, you saw Jennifer talking about love is love, love is love. I think these bitches are drunk. But I love it because they don't care and they have a good time on this show. I love the fact that they get drunk and have a good time. I think that's how they should do on other shows. Like remember when Kenya got drunk? That was like the best episode. Kenya being drunk. Girl, it's okay to let your hair down sometimes, girl. They brought some wax, I guess, to initiate Joe. What's his name, Joe? Girl, is his name Joe too? Rachel's husband into the group. That was pretty. Wait, Marge tells Teresa if we're made up. I already talked about that. Y'all saw how Teresa tried to flip it after she found out Rachel's basically. Girl, this is the thing. You can't be mad at Rachel for going back and telling, like, girl, at this point, y'all know Rachel was probably cool with Marge. Rachel went back and told Marge basically, girl, they told me to watch out for you. She tried to flip it. You trying to start some mess between me and Margaret. Girl, no, I'm just saying, girl. I put the dudes are frat boys. Oh, Frank tells Dolores she needs to push Paulie to hang out with them. Girl, I don't think Paul. Like I said, girl, I'm not saying that. I think I really, in all seriousness, I think that it could be a beautiful thing when you have a relationship like Will and Jada and Cherie. You have, or like Mashonda and I don't know why I said Mashonda. Mashonda and Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. I think that could be a beautiful thing when like an ex-wife or an ex-husband and the new husband or the new wife can all be friends, get along. And I will give Dolores and Frank this much. From what I've seen, because I've only been watching Real Housewives of New Jersey in full seasons for the last few seasons. I've never seen anything like, my good eye was on them at first, like, girl, this is okay. But I've never seen anything fishy between Frank and Dolores. I really haven't. But with that being said, what they have going on is not really normal, in my opinion. Like most people, you really don't hear too many people, or even probably, I'll just go ahead and reach and say most people like being best friends or hanging out with their ex-husband, ex-wife, and a new boyfriend, new girl. Like, I can see Paulie like, this is some crazy shit. Like, right? So it is what it is. Brittany also says that it's bothering her that she's not staying at the house. Oh, Louie. My good eyes on Louie. I'm sorry, y'all. Louie wants to be liked too much for me, which means I feel like he hides something. Like, girl, I get it. This is the truth. Louie ain't got no dog in this fight. Yes, that is his wife now, but yes, this is about to be his soon to be wife. But the truth of the matter is, Louie really don't know what was going on between Joe and Melissa. I mean, Joe and Teresa, Melissa and Teresa, the mama and Teresa. Like, he don't know. So all he can really do is kind of just either take Teresa's side because that's his wife, or either listen to what everybody has to say and come to his own conclusion. Or just, I think Louie wants to be the nice guy so bad, and for some reason it irritates me. When people try their hardest to be liked by everybody, and I feel like that's Louie, got my good eyes on you. Because it's okay for you to think I'm an asshole. I was probably an asshole for a reason, bitch. You see what I'm saying? Some people are just nice. Like, I feel like a lot of us might be nice, right? But I also feel like I don't go out my way to try to make sure you like me. Because at the end of the day, I really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with Louie, I just have an issue with people who always try their hardest to be liked by everybody. And that's what Louie gives me. He wants to be liked by everybody. Like, do you really, like, in real life, like, you don't even know the lady. So why does it bother you that the lady, Melissa's mama, ain't coming to the wedding? Because as quiet as it's going to be, could have been like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Like, I just came into the picture. I don't know what y'all beef is about. But I also get that sometimes people want to play peacemaker. Like, look, it's like, because it's probably really not that deep. I don't know. Y'all let me know. I don't know, child. I just got my good eye on Louie. That's what it comes down to. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.